I write many scripts. Some scripts absolutely demand stars. Okay, it's all a matter of economics. Some films demand stars. Without that, you can't get it made. 8 by 10 tasveer. Big locations, action, da 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 da. Needed someone who could justify that budget. Enter Akshay Kumar. Ashaएं. I wanted to cast John against the type, but if anyone saw Ashaएं, the whole Indiana Jones sequence and everything, that I would match it up to anything, anywhere in the world. It holds up. Just that little bit. But it was a massive, it was like a 1 crore set, and so still requires a John to justify that budget. So this game will go on forever. But I have always enjoyed injecting new blood into the, and I mean new actors. The technicians sometimes, again, these are all like different marriages, so it's very hard to break out of one. My sound designer is the same. My cinematographer, Shuddeep, shot 4 of my films on the trot, Iqbal Door, Bombay to Bangkok, Ashaएं together. Now the cinematographer I have, he's already shot 2. I'm going to use him at least for the next 2. So, but with actors, one doesn't have that kind of allegiance, because the good thing about actors is they will always look out for themselves. You can be rest assured in that. So it's not like if you've cast them and you've given them the exposure that they'll come back and do it. No, they will work in whatever works best for them. So what I'm saying is, you don't need to have allegiance. You can just move forward with what you want to do. Convincing a producer, nightmare. Even at this stage, for me. Because they'll say, अरे ये तो आ जाएगा 1 crore में. Why would you want, आपके लिए तो ये इसमें इतना में कर देगा. All that nonsense will go on. And you're just convincing that, you know, maybe you want to look outside the box and look for a different person. It's always a challenge. This might be a little bit of gyan, but I'm telling all you guys out there, like I said in the beginning, have that kind of bullheadedness, stupidity. Be smart. I always wish I did what you guys were doing. If you can actually do a course that teaches you all the basics, where you don't come off as an idiot. See, a lot of things on Hyderabad Blues, I had just book knowledge. I read books. I did that 1-week workshop. I was just winging it. I started shooting the film without an AD. You can't get more retarded than that. But it was, see, it was complete lack of knowledge, but it was this bulletedness ki, acha, this is the schedule, mere paas itne paise hain, and I shot almost the entire film as masters, meaning every scene was shot as a master. And I still believe if you have a good enough story and you can get good enough performances, not on an Indian commercial scale, no, but to make a good film, you can shoot masters and you can make a great film. These close-ups and all these are an added feature, but I'm telling you, there are some great directors in the past who've made phenomenal films with just masters. So with that naive thing, if I go in for close-ups, then I can't. Virtually every close-up that you see in Hyderabad Blues was shot after the fact. When I went and sat on the edit and I was like, oh, this is a horrid jump cut, this doesn't make sense. So I went back, who are the actors I could get? Myself. So if you see, 99% of the close-ups were me. So I got the camera one day, and the movie was shot predominantly at my parents' place in Hyderabad. So I sat in different rooms here, there, wherever I was stuck. We shot it against trees, against the sky, against a wall, and injected it into the scenes. Because there were horrible jump cuts in the film. So it's like that, but otherwise, so it requires that kind of madness, because for a director above everyone else, there's no one who will understand this. I know people tell me it's the producer, but the producer might have lengthwise a longer gestation period, but directors have the longest, most stressful period of time. So if you're not just completely blinded by the fact that you want to tell the story in this medium, you're not going to make it. Because just like a casual question like that can take you 4 months. Which actor to use? You're talking day after day, fighting day after day. It goes on, but if you stick to your guns, eventually it does happen. since I write my own scripts, a lot of the visualization is happening when I write it. Okay? So literally when I'm setting a scene in a room in a middle class house, I'm roughly seeing the space of that room. Okay? The best advice I can give, and this is how my movies come to light for me, is I write a script out. I have a feeling, acha, roughly ye karna hai, and then what I do is invest that money and go to the place where you think you want to shoot it. Now, if it's the States or something, sorry, no producer is going to give you that kind of money. But let's say you're writing a story in Bombay, or you're writing a story in some middle class India, some village that you went, go to that village, let the place speak to you. You will be shocked how much better you can make a scene, how much better you can write. So I write my first draft quickly, then I go to the place and I walk around that place, and then I can start seeing things so much more clearly. I go back and I start writing again, and now the stuff flows with a completely different magic, because you can get a character to sit on the edge of the well, then everything starts to come out so much better. So for me, that first visit to the place, because in none of my films is it the location is an innocent bystander. Location plays a huge part in my storytelling. It influences my communication, it influences, visual though is the obvious one, what it influences, but and when I'm filming also, before I actually film on a location, I go there at least half a dozen times. My cinematographers get sick because I'll say, chalo chalo wapas chalte hain, and I'll just walk around in that same place and I'll say, maybe we get, maybe you try and start. So place is huge.